You know that feeling, right?
Yeah.
You sit down with something you really, really love eating. Maybe it's comfort food, maybe a treat you've looked forward to.
Yeah.
You take the first bite, it's amazing. Maybe a second, and then boom, plate's empty.
Gone, just like that.
Yeah, gone. And you realize you were like scrolling your phone or halfway through an email.
Or planning your whole afternoon.
Exactly. And you barely even tasted it. It was fuel, sure, but the pleasure, the actual experience, where did that go?
Well, that's kind of the default mode for so many of us now, isn't it? Eating's just become another task.
Right, on the to-do list.
Something to squeeze in, often with our attention just scattered everywhere. We're eating physically but mentally miles away.
And that's really the core of what we're diving into today. What if the secret, to unlocking all that pleasure, that deep satisfaction from meals, what if it isn't about fancy ingredients? What if it's fundamentally about how we eat? Welcome to the deep dive.
So today, we're exploring this fascinating world of mindful eating. We've pulled together insights from, well, all over really. Health, psychology.
Yeah, research stuff,
yes, but also grounding it in its deeper roots, ancient practices, and even connecting it to this really lovely idea of finding simple joy, everyday joy.
Okay, so our mission today, let's unpack what mindful eating actually is. Why is it getting so much attention now?
Good question.
And most importantly, give you some simple, practical ways to bring more presence, more awareness, and more real pleasure back to your meals. Like starting today.
Let's do it. So, okay, the basics. What is mindful eating? At its heart, it's really about bringing your full awareness, your intention to the act of eating.
Okay.
Paying attention on purpose, being fully present in the moment. And often it's described as having this non-judgmental awareness of what's going on, your body, your mind, as you eat.
So it's the exact opposite of that autopilot thing we were just talking about.
Yeah.
You're not just like mechanically shoveling food in. You're consciously experiencing it, which honestly feels pretty radical compared to how most of us eat.
Oh, definitely. Standing up, driving, walking around.
Glued to a screen.
Glued to a screen, yeah. We're trained by modern life to be these multitasking machines, right? Constantly stimulated.
Totally.
And it's interesting because, while this popular idea of mindful eating feels kind of new, the principles underneath are actually ancient. They're linked to the Buddhist idea of sati.
Sati.
Which we usually translate as mindfulness. But sati isn't just being aware now. It also carries the sense of remembering to be aware. It's a deliberate thing, a practice.
Huh. So it's not just having the awareness, it's like actively remembering to apply it.
Yeah.
Especially to something so routine, so everyday as eating.
Precisely. And in many traditions, eating itself was seen as a kind of meditation, a training ground for that awareness.
Makes sense that it would become this modern thing then. Just focus on being present with your food.
Exactly. Which brings us to the big question, why?
Why?
Why bother? I mean, sure, there are potential health benefits people talk about.
Right. Digestion, maybe eating less.
Yeah, sources mention improved digestion, maybe reducing overeating. Some research looks at weight management links, though, the quality of studies varies, as always.
Sure.
But beyond all that, there's a benefit I think is, maybe far more compelling. Maybe less talked about in the usual wellness chatter.
I'm intrigued. What is it?
You simply enjoy your meals more.
Just enjoy them more.
Significantly more. A lot more.
That feels almost too simple. We're always chasing complex diet superfoods. But the biggest win is just pleasure.
Yeah.
Reclaiming enjoyment from something we do like 3 times a day.
It sounds simple, but that's the power, I think. It connects to this lovely idea. There's a German word, Heiterkeit. It's about cultivating cheerfulness, contentment in just everyday life.
Great.
Not waiting for the big moments, the holidays, the promotions.
Finding joy in the small stuff.
Exactly. And mindful eating is a perfect, really tangible way to practice that. Finding richness and pleasure in a totally routine, maybe even mundane daily activity.
That completely reframes happiness, doesn't it? Moves it from someday when X happens to right now with this actual bite of food.
Mm-hmm.
I was really struck by that story. I think it was from Kripalali, The Silent Breakfast.
Oh yeah, the silent breakfast.
People eating simple food, but in silence, mindfully, and saying it was one of the best meals of their lives.
That story just nails it, right? The food wasn't fancy. It was the presence.
Yeah.
And that really highlights the challenge we face now. Our world is just saturated with notifications, social media, this this urgency culture, hustle culture.
We're always on to the next thing.
It's actively training our brains away from being present. We get these little dopamine hits for jumping to the next notification, the next task.
Making it super hard to just sit and be, like even for 10 minutes with a meal.
Yeah, we're conditioning ourselves for distraction, constantly scanning for the next external thing instead of tuning into our internal experience or just what's right here.
Right.
And mindful eating is like a deliberate pushback against that. It's a counter move. It helps transform eating from something that, for a lot of people, can be loaded with stress or guilt.
Oh yeah, diet culture, body image stuff.
All that. It transforms it into something restorative, an act of self-awareness, appreciation, and just genuine delight. It can really help heal that relationship with food.
Okay. So we get what it is and why it's potentially so powerful, especially for, bringing joy back. But the big question what everyone's asking is how? How do you actually do this in the middle of a busy day?
And the best part, these aren't complicated techniques. They're not expensive. They're just simple shifts in attention, in habit.
Okay.
It's not a rigid plan. It's experimenting with how you interact with your food. And the number one piece of advice, repeated everywhere, eliminate distractions.
Easier said than done for a lot of us.
Oh, absolutely. But it's kind of non-negotiable if you want to practice presence. Put the phone away, like maybe even in another room.
Ooh, drastic.
Turn off the TV, close the laptop, just dedicate time only to eating. One source was really clear. Phone, face down, silent. Create a boundary.
Okay, clear the decks.
Yeah.
Got it. What's next? What's another fundamental?
Slow down. This is maybe the most central, mechanical part of it.
Right.
Eating isn't a race. We often eat so fast, we barely register the first bite before the last one's gone. So simple tricks to force yourself to slow down. The classic one, put your utensils down between bites.
Oh, I've tried that. It feels so awkward at first, like you're performing slowness.
It does feel awkward, but that awkwardness is exactly the point. It snaps you out of that rushed autopilot mode.
Right.
You take a bite, you chew it properly, you swallow, and then you consciously put your fork or spoon down. You don't pick it up again until you're ready for the next bite. It totally changes the pace.
Right.
And speaking of chewing, actually chew your food.
Chew your food. Sounds pretty basic.
It is. But think about it. How often do we take a bite, chew maybe twice, and swallow?
Totally.
Right. One source mentioned advice like chew each bite multiple times. Someone called a grandpa insisting on 10 chews.
10 times.
Yeah. But beyond just digestion, the simple act of chewing forces you to slow down, to spend more time with the food in your mouth, to actually engage with it before it disappears.
Okay, so clear distractions, slow down, put the fork down, chew properly.
Right.
What about actually paying attention to the food itself?
Yes. This is where the sensory pleasure really unlocks. Bring your full awareness to the whole sensory experience. Before you even take a bite, just look at it.
Go.
Notice the colors, the shapes, how the light hits it. Then inhale the aroma. Smell is so tied to taste, and we often just skip right over it.
Yeah, the smell of coffee brewing or bread baking.
Yeah.
That's half the experience sometimes.
Totally. Then, as you eat, notice the textures. Is it crunchy, smooth, creamy, a bit rough, tender? Listen to the sounds it makes when you chew. The crunch of a carrot, the squish of a berry.
Okay, really tuning in.
And then finally, the taste. Don't just think good or salty. Try to pick out specifics. Is it sweet? Sour? Is there bitterness? That savory thing, umami. Really break it down in your mouth.
Look at the strawberry example, right? Instead of just popping it in.
Yeah.
You admire the red color, smell the sweetness, feel the little seeds, then bite, feel the juice burst, hear the little tear sound, and then taste the sweet, maybe the slight tartness.
The whole event.
Because of the full sensory event.
And that shifts it. It's not just consuming a strawberry, it's fully experiencing the strawberry. Another simple practice. Make eating a bit of a ritual.
A ritual? How so?
Well, a really basic rule is only eat if you're seated. That helps create that focused time and space.
Okay, no more dashboard dining.
Exactly. And consider using special dishes, your nicer plates or utensils.
Oh, like breaking out the good china for a regular Tuesday night.
Why not? We save our nicest things for guests, but why not for ourselves? Using nicer things can elevate the whole experience. It feels less like a rushed refuel, more like a small, special occasion. Makes you naturally want to slow down.
Like using a fancy teacup for a 5-minute tea break? It feels different.
Completely different. It brings this sort of intentionality, this respect to the meal itself.
I like that.
And finally, try incorporating gratitude. Reflection. Just take a moment before you start or even during the meal.
Okay.
Think about everything that went into getting that food to you. The sun, the rain, the soil, the farmers, the people who transported it, cooked it.
Yeah.
One source even suggested giving a virtual hug to everyone involved, even for like a potato chip. Think about the journey that potato took.
That's a really powerful shift in perspective.
Yeah.
Connects you way beyond just the food to the whole system. I know some traditions have formal prayers or contemplations before meals.
Like Thich Nhat Hanh's 5 Contemplations. Yeah, those are beautiful, deeper ways to do it, reflecting on origin, effort, purpose, but even just a simple silent moment of thanks or acknowledgement. It's a wonderful start. And the absolute key with all of this stuff.
What's that?
Don't try to be perfect overnight. Start small.
Okay. Realistic.
Pick one meal today, maybe breakfast, and choose just one thing to focus on. Maybe just putting the fork down or just noticing the smell before you eat. Build it up gradually.
That makes it feel much less intimidating. Okay, quick question. People sometimes mix up mindful eating and intuitive eating. Are they the same?
Good distinction to make. They're related, but not quite the same. Mindful eating, like we've been saying, is specifically about that present moment awareness while you are eating.
Focusing on the senses, the pace, no distractions.
That's right. Intuitive eating is broader. It's more of a whole framework, a self-care approach. It's about respecting your body, tuning into hunger and fullness cues, rejecting diet rules, honoring your health gently.
Okay, so intuitive eating is the bigger picture of your relationship with food and body signal. And mindful eating is a tool you can use within that, a specific practice for how you eat.
Precisely. You definitely use mindfulness in intuitive eating to help you hear those body signals. But you can also just practice mindful eating on its own purely to enjoy your food more, even if you're not focused on all the other intuitive eating principles.
Yeah.
Our focus here today has really been on using that presence during the meal to unlock joy.
And zooming back out, that joy factor, that pleasure, that really feels like the core insight here, doesn't it? It's not just about optimizing health stats, though that might happen.
Right.
It's fundamentally about reclaiming pleasure in something so basic, so necessary.
It really is. It's a way to get more in tune with your body's own wisdom, to truly appreciate the nourishment you're getting, to feel more connected to yourself and even to the world when you think about the food's journey.
Yeah.
It's really a profound act of self-care, but it looks like just a simple eating technique. It's an opportunity to deliberately practice finding joy, not just in the big moments, but in the essential everyday stuff that makes up our lives.
It reminds me of that story about the train journey. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah, the train ride.
Started out potentially frustrating, right? Early morning, no coffee, slow train. But the person totally transformed it just by shifting focus, choosing to notice the simple things like the quiet satisfaction of fixing a small problem, the pleasure of a pastry, the comfort of a book, the mountains outside.
That's a perfect parallel.
Yeah.
The external situation didn't change, but the experience of it was radically different because of where the awareness was placed.
Right.
Mindful eating does the same thing. The food might be simple. The setting might be your kitchen table on a Tuesday. But by bringing awareness, attention, appreciation, you transform the experience. You find these rich moments of connection and, delight. It's a powerful way to resist that constant pull to what's next and just truly savor the life you're actually living, bite by bite, moment by moment.
So the key takeaway then from this whole deep dive feels both simple and, well, pretty impactful. The secret to finding real joy in your favorite foods, maybe all foods, isn't really about chasing novelty.
Right.
It's about bringing special attention, focused, appreciative attention to every single bite.
Yeah.
Mindful eating is this potent, really accessible practice. Lets you reclaim pleasure, connect with yourself, and find these genuine moments of joy in just nourishing your body.
Yeah, you're basically training your brain, right? Which, let's face it, is often wired for distraction, maybe even negativity.
Definitely.
You're training it to actively notice and amplify the good stuff that's already there, right on your plate. And the more you practice noticing, appreciating, the easier it gets. And the more often those moments of joy just pop up.
Which kind of leaves us with this thought to carry forward. If bringing just a little more presence, a bit more awareness, can unlock such deep satisfaction from something as fundamental as eating, something we do multiple times every single day. Where else in your busy life might you be missing out on simple pleasures just because you're not fully paying attention? What other daily thing, no matter how small or mundane it seems, What could you transform into a moment of joy just by slowing down and being completely present with it?
Something to chew on, maybe, during your next meal. Or perhaps your next cup of tea.
Indeed. Until next time, take care and savor the moments.